All right, folks, let's go ahead and get started today. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for attending yet another webinar in the series of webinars presented by B2W Software. The topic today will be, is your quality inspection process putting you at risk? So a couple introductions. We have two presenters that you're going to be hearing today. Jeremy Onisco is the program manager for our B2W Inform product. He's going to be our first presenter. And then my name is Mark Hooks. I'm one of the solutions engineers here at B2W Software, and I'll be doing the demonstration of our B2W Inform product. Also with us today is Michelle Wender in the background. She's one of our regional sales directors. She's going to be monitoring our questions panel. We'll have some dedicated time at the end of the webinar today to answer questions, but we'll do our best if you have questions as we go along. Sometimes questions are more related just to your company, and in that case, we'll probably contact you after the webinar and take those questions offline. So with that, the agenda looks like we're going to be talking about the issues with paper-based inspections, also the benefits of a digitized inspection process, and then again, I'll be doing a product demonstration of our B2W Inform product. With that, I'm going to hand the presentation over to Jeremy and let him get started. Jeremy?
Terrific. Thank you for that introduction, Mark, and thank you all for joining us today. To get started, Mark, we'll move on to the next slide, please. To get started, we'll take a minute to consider the paper-based inspection process and some of the different types of challenges and issues it can present. At the most basic level, and I'm sure many of you would agree with me, issues consist of illegible, inconsistent, and lost data. But the issues can also extend to stale data, or what many people would consider data lag, and inaccessible or inefficient data, all of which directly impact our ultimate goal, which in this case is to extract purpose and value from our data, which brings us to our last issue of data analytics. So kind of as the common expression goes, garbage in, garbage out. Next slide, please, Mark. So as we're taking into consideration these known challenges and issues that a paper-based inspection process can present, let us evaluate the opportunity that a digital solution does present. We all know that data collection can be a time and resource-intensive process, but it doesn't have to be. Digital solutions for data collection help organizations collect more structured and detailed rich data faster and more efficiently than traditional paper-based processes. But standardizing the data collection is only part of the opportunity. Digital solutions also help organizations more effectively collaborate and make informed business decisions. So think on-demand reports and dashboards, because all of the data is unified and available in a centralized location. Next slide, please. So kind of covering that's the opportunity, we want to think about, well, what are the benefits? Working with a paper-based process, paper forms need to be produced and updated on a regular basis. They also need to be distributed manually. Working with a digital inspection process, forms are never out of date and they're never more than a click or a tap away. There's no guarantee either that by the time the data is actually collected using a paper-based process, that it is in any way intelligible or that it holds any value. A digital inspection process allows you to standardize your data collection and enforce data structure, both of which directly result in higher quality, more accurate, and reliable data. And lastly, as I've already stated, data collection analysis can be very time and resource intensive. Unstructured and disorganized data is difficult to manage. It's inefficient and it's expensive to maintain. For example, think about all the resources necessary to collect, review, share, and store paper forms. The physical space alone to store all the paper forms can be a challenge in itself. Working with a digital solution, organizations are able to increase operational efficiency by collaborating more effectively and making more informed business decisions. It also helps to ensure a greater degree of compliance. And so moving along here, next slide, please, Mark. Now that we've covered the opportunity and the benefits of a digital solution for inspection processes, we might think, well, how does an organization that is currently using a paper-based system get started? Well, first, it's important to consider a solution that operates on multiple platforms. This will help to ensure that the solution will adapt to your business and operational needs, and not the other way around. Second, it's important to consider a solution that runs in the cloud. Cloud-based solutions help organizations get up and running faster and with lower upfront deployment and ultimate maintenance costs. Third, while certain types of inspections, I should say, like site safety and compliance, are mandated in many instances, it's important to consider a solution that will enable your organization to move beyond traditional inspections. For example, a solution that supports tools necessary to configure forms and reports to meet the other non-specific business needs. And lastly, whether an organization is interested in analyzing something concrete like year-over-year budget or something less tangible like customer satisfaction, it's crucial that a digital solution support and offer a robust reporting and analytics engine. Next slide, please, Mark. Okay, so keeping in mind all the benefits that a digital solution for inspection processes can provide your organization, let's quickly discuss how B2W Inform can help streamline and eliminate the headaches of a paper-based inspection process. So really quickly, what is B2W Inform? It's an enterprise data collection and analysis tool that supports business process workflow as well as customizable alerts. Using B2W Inform, you can create a number of custom form templates that can be filled out on any web browser-enabled device. And once collected, all of that data can be transmitted back to the office where it can be accessed instantly and analyzed in real time. With respect to e-forms, as we're seeing here, there are a number of different features and functions supported in B2W Inform to improve the data collection process. For example, required and structured data fields. Those help to ensure forms are filled out correctly the first time. Enriched data fields, for example, photos, e-signatures, timestamps, and geolocations. These help to improve the quality of data collected up front. And the approve reject workflow. This feature allows multiple people to review a form at the moment of submission. So what we're doing is eliminating the waiting of forms to arrive in the office for approval. When it comes to notifications, B2W Inform supports the tools necessary to configure custom alerts so that issues can be identified by the right people and at the right time. The reporting analytics engine embedded in B2W Inform allows organizations to quickly and easily analyze and extract relevant data. The engine also supports a number of tools for configuring and customizing reports and dashboards. So a quick example might be assessing all the different hazards identified on every active job site for a specific period of time and the results of any implemented remediation programs. Next slide, please, Mark. So kind of quickly, we went through the opportunity and the benefits, and I took you a little bit through the product here, but and I'm going to let Mark kind of take you much deeper into the product here momentarily. But I'd be remiss if I didn't first quickly touch on the business value of B2W Inform. So that's what we'll kind of talk about quickly here. First, reduce cost. To minimize job site costs and stoppages due to missed and/or incomplete inspections. Second, manage risk. We achieve this by better maintaining inspection records, enforcing mandatory fields, and supporting approval workflows. Third, ensure and enforce compliance. This is done through process standardization and enforcing complete data values. And lastly, very importantly, increase profits. We want you to make more timely and informed business decisions and keep your workforce focused on the job they set out to do. We also want to help you identify trends, whether positive or negative, so that you can respond accordingly. So as I'm wrapping up here, I guess the kind of big takeaway is that B2W Inform can help your organization more easily improve the quality and efficiency of your inspection processes and more sophisticatedly report on and analyze your data. So on that final note, what I'd like to do now is hand the presentation back over to Mark so that he can take a few minutes to guide you through the product and provide a couple examples of how B2W Inform can help your organization standardize and improve the quality of your inspection process. Mark?
Thanks, Jeremy. So now let's do that. Let's go and see how B2W Inform can help you deal with all the challenges that Jeremy spoke about. So this is a home page for B2W Inform, the launching page. And as the screen says here, B2W Inform unlocks the power of your data. So no matter how you're collecting and reporting on data now, what we can do is help you redesign the inefficient data management process across your organization. Inform can be used to create any type of form and then bring all that data together with a very powerful reporting engine. So it can be instrumental in gathering the information you need to ensure that you're monitoring and documenting issues that deal with the quality standards within your organization. And I just want to point out, over and above other products out there, B2W Inform is not just a forms creation tool. As we walk through the product demonstration, you'll see it is so much more than that. So here's the login page. You'll log in with your username and password, and based on your permissions, you'll have access to different areas of the program. Here on the home page, you'll see the different areas. You can create templates, which will become the forms for the users. The users can then fill out forms here. Reports can be generated on any of the information that's within a form, and that in itself is a huge benefit in regards to getting information at your fingertips when you need it, without having to search hundreds of pieces of paper or electronic documents to get to what you need. You'll also see here alerts and notifications can be created to automatically notify people of what's going on and what needs to be addressed in real time. And also there's an area for your administrators to set up users and permissions and such. And we're going to touch on most of these areas, but just remember, based on the permissions of the user, they'll only see the areas you want them to see. So most end users are only going to see the forms area. Before we get into the templates area, it is worth mentioning that ease of use is a huge factor in getting folks to collect the information that you need. If the tool is not easy to use, then the documentation may not be done at all, and it may not be as accurate as you need it. Our adaptive user interface makes it easy to fill out a form on any device, PC to smartphone. When the user opens B2W Inform, the screen automatically resizes itself to match that device. It just makes it easier for the user to complete the forms. So it all starts with creating templates. When you build out the templates, you have certain defaults that you can set up right away. So I'm going to go down to the Create New Templates area here. First thing you'll see is when you create a new template, you'll be able to give it a template name. You can also choose user-defined categories that'll help group not only the templates, but also the subsequent form that you're creating here as well. We can turn on an approval process that goes to one or multiple folks. So if you want to send this out to a few people to get an approval or rejection, you can do that within there. You also don't ever have to start from scratch. If you've ever built out a template, you can always copy from an existing template and just build and change and make modifications to it. You can also do groupings, which are virtual folders in some respects, so that you can organize where these ultimate forms are stored. And you can hard code here what form it would, or what grouping it would go into, or leave it open for the user to choose that themselves. Template size, template orientation. And a big one here is who can actually fill out this form that you're creating. Because if you have 50 forms in the company and the guy, say, in the field needs to fill out 3 of them, then why should he have to go through all 50 of those to find the ones he needs? Based on the user, the group of users or the individual users, you determine who's actually going to see this ultimate form that comes off the template. So let's take a look at an actual template. So I'm going to go back into this area here. You can see you can create drafts and continue work on them, publish templates. Let's take a look at one of our simple templates. I'm going to start with a simple and go to a little bit more detailed. We're going to start with our daily equipment inspection. This one allows you to collect data that's needed for daily on your equipment, and just realize it can be as simple or as detailed as you want it to be. When you open up the templates area here, you really see 2 different spots. There's the palette here, which has all the fields that you can simply just drag and drop over to the canvas to create the actual template. There's headings and text boxes and drop downs and checklists, all the way down to media, file uploads, signature panels, all kinds of different areas that you can drop on to create your own unique forms. Once they're on the canvas, you can have like date fields and say this one is an employee drop down. Nice addition to our software, if you're using any of our B2W operations platform elements, such as track, maintain, dispatch, schedule, we can actually bind data that you're already managing in that database to be pulled into these templates, which would come into the form. By that I mean, whenever you create a field on a template, you can go into the properties of that template. This is where you'd give it a label that would show, what the guy will see when he looks at that field. In this case, drop down single, multiple choices. You can hard code the choices if you want a static list of things for them to pick from. But when I say bind to the data that you're already managing, if you're using B2W operations, you can actually link that drop down to information you're already managing. So when I go into this area here, I'm linking to my employee table that I'm already managing and updating in one system, so I don't have to do that again here. So you're not managing two separate databases, not just employees though. Accounts, employees, equipment, jobs, materials, all those lists that you're already managing can be linked into these templates. Again, making things more efficient and keeping up to date with those changes that you're making for your organization that automatically fall in. But you'll see lots of different kinds, equipment drop-downs, check boxes, data entry fields. And this is nice because we did take care of voice-to-text recognition. So if you're using this on a tablet or a smartphone, not only can you just type it in, but also you can speak into the device and it'll type that for you. And here I've got a signature field. This will actually date, timestamp, and geolocate the person when they sign it off. And then over here, I've just added an example. You can do a media upload where you can take multiple pictures or videos and embed them directly into the form. So just kind of a couple things at the top there too. When you highlight an area on the template, you see you can change the font, color, again, making things look nice for your company. But a big one is right here, required fields. If there's certain aspects of a form that you want the guys to fill out no matter what, you can require them to fill out that area. And that way, if they try to save the form at the end of the day and they've got required fields they've not completed, it'll give them a little warning and tell them that they have to go in and get that information. So again, compliance, you're pushing it out there, what you want them to see and fill out, but you can also make certain things required as well. So let's take a look at a different type of template now. So let's go back over and go to my templates area. Now let's go to my workplace score sheet. And this one is, again, trying to keep up with your quality standards. This is where as you go out and do your workplace evaluations, not just a single piece of equipment now. I've designed this one so that I can pick the project I'm working on, date, supervisor, and then general scorecard. How many points are available and what kind of score am I going to give the general workplace, any fire issues, ladder issues, electrical issues, all giving me a total points and total available, total points earned, so I can start looking at how they did overall, and then again a signature panel. Once these templates are published, they're ready for the folks to fill out. And that's where we're going next. We're going to go back out and go to the forms area and show you what some of the forms look like. I'm going to go back out to my home page, go into the forms area. In the forms area, the user can see all the forms that they're working on and the status of the form. Draft format, is it completed? Is it pending approval? Was it rejected? Do I need to go back in and tune it up and send it back out again? Has it been approved? No matter what screen you're on, there's lots of filtering. So as these lists get longer and longer and longer, you can look at the categories, groupings, dates, or you could do just a simple character search that'll search for anything on the screen. When you click on fill out a form, again, based on the users that can fill out this form, you won't see the full list of forms for your entire organization. The user's only going to see the ones that they've been assigned to. So I'm going to kind of keep going with that workplace score sheet. Once they highlight a form, the first thing it's going to do is date, timestamp, the user's name in there. You'll notice in the background, this one has to be approved. And if you've used the form once before, you can actually save the approval process to one or multiple approvers. Hit the save button, you pick your project. Again, this is my jobs list coming from my active jobs list in B2W operations. And these are also type aheads. I can start typing and looking for that information if I have a long list. Put my date in there, today, supervisor, again, that's your active employee list. And then general workplace, total of 30, and they did very well on the general workplace. Fire, 20 available, fire extinguishers available, but there's a couple exits not marked. So as you go through, maybe ladders weren't appropriate for this, and electrical, everybody did really well. And again, it gives you the total score, and I can see what the available score was and what the total points earned. I'm going to show you a little bit on how we can start looking at percentiles on our reports for that as well. And then you got your signature panel. You come in, the user comes in, finds himself in the list, signs it off, and that's a lot prettier on the tablet, because a tablet you can just use your finger to do the signature, same on the smartphone. And then when it's saved, you'll notice it date, timestamps, and geolocates the user. Once it's submitted, that means it's immediately reportable information, and approvals are going out automatically in real time. Any alerts based on what was filled out are going to the folks both inside and outside the company if you choose. And all, again, this is happening in real time with that one click. As you know, some paper forms never make it back to the office. With a solution like this, the information is always going to be there. Okay. Before we go into a few of the reports and dashboards that we have, let's skip down and show you a bit. I've mentioned alerts and notifications a couple times, so let's go down to my alerts area. The alerts, this is huge. When you need real-time information to make sure that all standards are being met and or exceeded to meet all of your quality initiatives, alerts and notifications can be set up on any area of the form so that when the user enters information, the alert is sent out automatically. And you decide what information or combination of things that they enter that will fire off that actual notification. So let's go take an equipment damage alert. So I'm just going to go into edit mode here and show you what that looks like. When you create an alert, you're going to give it a name. You choose which template that you're going to apply the alert to. And then based on how many rules you want to put or how many different things you want to happen in this template to set off different alerts, you can do one. My basic one here is in the area of inspection. If it contains that there's equipment exterior damage, brake issues, steering, or glass issues, I'm going to get a notification both by email and by text. I can choose other recipients, and again, I can choose external recipients outside of my company as well. Down below, you'll be able to put in just kind of some brief text on why am I getting this notification, so the guys know when they get it, they know what it's related to. You can even include, if you're sending out in an email format, a PDF of the actual form so that people can pull that up right away. And this is what that's going to look like. If you get an email notification, you'll get something that looks like this. And text notifications are very simple, just telling you, hey, I need to go look at something, something's happened. All these notifications really give people the ability to get a jump on getting the information needed without any delays. So it's just another factor in making sure all areas of the company are maintaining quality standards, and you're getting notified right away when things need to be dealt with. So now the templates are in place, the forms are being filled out, approvals and notifications are being sent. Now you need to get to all that information without having to sort through things manually. No filing cabinets, no thousands of pieces of paper, even not going through any electronic documents that really can't be reported on. The reporting engine in B2W Inform will save you hours or days in getting all this information compiled. So I'm going to go back out of here, going to go back to my home page, and now we're going to go down to the reports area. So let's kind of keep going with the site inspection and take a look at a report that brings all of that information together. Reports are very easy to create. I've created all these myself. If I go to my, let's do my workplace score sheet. Basically, it's taking the second that form was filled out, it's pulling that information in automatically. Also, you can set up automated, push outs of this. If you want to have this delivered to multiple folks, that can be done on a schedule basis with our report scheduling tool. But you'll see here, it gives the date, gives the project, the total score, 30 out of 30, 10 out of 20, and then gives me my total percentages. So I can see what sites are not doing well and what sites are doing well. And you can even kind of make some modifications on the fly here. If you only want to see bits and pieces, you can turn on and turn off fields just for a nice quick look. So now that's one of the reports. But now let's take a look at a dashboard example that I built in the system. So back out to the reports area. and we'll go to my site overview dashboard. This dashboard was built to pull information across multiple forms. It shows the score again of each site. Again, it's pulling in the form that I just showed you for the workplace score sheet. It's also pulling in near-miss totals from my near-miss report, the number of inspections per site, which is being derived from this report in a different kind of graph. But again, with built-in filters, you can get quickly down to a specific date range at a specific job site, or like this, looking at everything at once. So if I want to look at just at that Holly Hills project, the report graphs all change to just show that, or again, I can choose to show everything or even down to a specific date range. Lots of ways that we can get quality issues, positive and negative, right in your face so that you can see them in real time. Another example is we can build reports that document safety meetings, such as toolbox talks. So let me go back out to my reports and go down to my toolbox talk weekly submittals. In this report, you can see the incoming toolbox talks. And to make sure that you guys are getting their safety meetings done, but also ensuring that those discussions are being had to make sure your quality standards are being passed on to your employees. So as you know, being informed, proactive, and prepared for any situation is everyone's responsibility. So B2W Inform really supports a holistic approach for your company, from template creation, passing on your quality initiatives and documenting that process by filling out the forms, and easily getting to all that information with the built-in reporting tool. So folks, that concludes the Quality Inform webinar today. Let's go back over to the PowerPoint here. And we do have some time for questions and answers. If you have any questions, you can shoot those in on your questions panel, and we'll take those today. While that's coming in, I just want to thank you for attending, and after the webinar, if you have any questions for our clients, you can call our support department at the number you're seeing on the screen. For any of the other attendees, you can always call our sales department for questions or even for a more in-depth demonstration for your company. We will be sending out a link to the webinar to all attendees if you registered, in case you want to show this to folks that couldn't make it today. So again, I want to thank you for attending, and do keep a lookout for upcoming B2W software webinars. Thank you very much for attending today, guys, and have a nice day.